Alright, now that we have reviewed all the Silent Night, Deadly Night movies, it's time to stop and rank them. So, alright, we got 6 movies to rank. So starting off at number 6, the worst of the bunch, is Silent Night, Deadly Night 3. Better watch out. This movie is just boring. Nothing really happens. They establish a second connection between Laura, our main character, and Ricky, who is now played by Bill Moseley. And they give... Bill Moseley is a great character actor. He could have given them something akin to Eric Freeman's performance in the first one, and just have him comatose and not really speaking throughout the film. It's boring. It drags on for too long. It just doesn't work. They could have done so much more with this, especially with Bill Moseley. But, yeah. Number 5 is Silent Night, Deadly Night 4, Initiation. This movie is balls to the walls crazy. Now, I waited overnight before I went from 3 to 4, but if I watched 3 and watched 4 right after each other, if you do that, that's a big jump. There's a lot more going on in this, but unfortunately, it leaves much to be desired, especially in a franchise that you were following a killer Santa Claus or at least following the Chapman characters for the first 3 films, and they just jump into something else. Brian Yuzna was trying, but in the end, it's wacky, weird, bug, Clint Howard mess that just doesn't work. Number 4 is Silent Night, Deadly Night 5, The Toy Maker. This one gets a little bit notch higher than the last one because it tones down the craziness and gives us a coherent story about a boy who's traumatized about a man's death who he assumes to be his father, and the boy's real father, who is investigating this toy maker. And Mickey Rooney's really good in it, of course. But where it lets you down is that they don't allow this kid to do anything but, for the entire film, he never really talks, except for once in a great while. And the ending part gets all messed up with, I love you, mommy, I love you, mommy, I love you, mommy. And you bring back the 2 surviving characters from the previous film, and you don't establish any connection other than Kim's throwaway line of, "You'll never believe what I've been through." It just doesn't make any sense to me. Number 3 is the Silent Night, the remake from 2012. This one has a better coherent story than the previous 3, and it goes back to the killer Santa Claus format, and I think it works. But where it falls off the wagon is in the end, when they decide to show the audience why this guy is doing it. But it's never shown to the actual characters in the film. It's shown to us. It's not told, it's visually shown, but then the main characters, who should know why this guy is doing it, never do. So it makes no sense. Maybe they were going to do a sequel. That never happened. I don't know. But it just falls short of the first 2 for me. So now we're on to the final 2. And what's left? The first one and the second one, right? First one, second one, first one, second one. Alright. So, number 2 is Silent Night, Deadly Night, the first one. This movie, I think it's decently made. There's not a lot of money put into it. Most people will probably put this as number 1, saying this one is the best one. But for me, The reason why it gets 2 is because there's no real memorable performance other than the drunk manager. Oh no. That guy. There's, you got your killer, punish, naughty, the entire time. The plot is kind of buggered down by the fact that this Mother Superior is the one that should be arrested, and they should put someone else in charge of this ordinance because she's a horrible woman, and she doesn't pay until the second film, which kind of brings that one up for me. But it's got good kills. It's a standard slasher of the 80s, but there's only one reason why it doesn't work. It doesn't make number 1. Number 1, of course, is Silent Night Part 2, and for me, Eric Freeman makes this film for me. Yes, the first half of this film, first 40 minutes, is just repeating everything from the first film, but you have Eric Freeman's performance as Ricky Chapman to kind of narrate that. Well, maybe we're just jerking off here. Red car. Good point. Garbage day. And I think it works, especially for the latter half. I think that this one, it's more entertaining than the first film for me. The first film is just this Santa Claus going around killing people, much like the remake, but this does more for me. I will go back and rewatch this. I would. Out of all these, this one is the one I'll go back and rewatch because it's entertaining. It's a guilty pleasure movie, that's for sure. So that's why it gets number 1. So let me know in the comments below what your thoughts on the Silent Night Deadly Night series are. I'd love to know, hear your ideas, your thoughts on them. Let me know in the comments below. So, there you go. There's another ranking. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I've been Scotty. We'll see you in the next one.